together and getting this great group here. Beside me, I have Marquise Richards, who's a board member with me on Soil. So first and foremost, I love everything about cities. I love everything about cities. I love the diversity. I love the restaurants. I love the art. I love the reggaeton that's blasting when you're walking or you're sitting in your house. Everything about cities, I love it. I love it. So in my passion for cities, I try to see what we can do to help the people that are here. So by profession, I do real estate. I'm a real estate agent. And how we founded Soil was actually, that was Soil, where the Soil building is today, was actually one of my first listings as a real estate agent 6 years ago. And we could not sell that property. It took us, we had that property for, I had it on the market for almost 3 years, and we could not sell that property. And then eventually the guy just said to me, well, I told him, yeah, I want to buy it, I didn't have any money. And the guy said to me, well, I'll help you, and he helped me finance it for the beginning part that I refinanced with Community First Fund. But I didn't know what I wanted to do with the building. I knew that that building at one point was an old doctor's office. And I started doing some research in that area, and I found out that at one point that was a very wealthy area of the city of Reading. The 200 block of North 6th Street, right across the street from St. Joseph's Hospital, where the Santander Performing Arts Center is. And I found out that at 210 North 6th Street, a man by the name of Harry something was a presidential candidate, and he was from here in the city of Reading. So I start looking at the area, and I'm looking at it, and I'm just like, it's not the area that's bad, because at one point this was a place that people thought was great, and an area of the city where everybody wanted to be. So I came up with the name for the area called Millionaires Row. If you believe it, it can become true. So I started thinking, how can we transform this neighborhood into a place where everybody wants to be? And I started researching, and I learned about co-working, and the concept of co-working. I was in Lancaster, and there was a place by the name of the Candy Factory in Lancaster that's very well known and an incubator for a lot of businesses in that area. So I started saying, well, maybe that's something that we can do here in Reading. So that's basically where Soil, the co-working space, came from. And the name actually came because, again, in cities you see a lot of art. There was a bathtub in the house that I was showing. There was a bathtub outside of a house that I was showing, and there was all this dirt in it, and a tree was sprouting out of it. And I was like, wow, that's beautiful. Somebody say it was ugly, but I thought that was so beautiful. And I was like, that's nice. And then I was like, dirt, soil. How can we use this? And then I just came up with the acronym, Save Our Inner City Lives. So how can we solve our own problems to help our own communities? And that's where the name Soil came from. And each member, we kind of joke around that each member is a seed. So we're planting seeds in the soil. And if the soil's right, we can sprout a lot of things, and we can grow this, whatever. Yeah. We can grow something, a garden. There you go. So Soil, questions. So that's what Soil is. And our mission is basically to help historically marginalized groups, women, people of color, to start their businesses and be an incubator for them so that they can have an outreach. So we try to keep our costs very low. We're not a non-for-profit, we're a for-profit entity. And we try to keep our costs low so that people can at least have that starting out point. And Marquise will tell you, he has a podcast, it's called the Dear Reading Podcast, and he'll tell you a little bit more about it. And our mission is to keep the barriers to entry into the business world as low as possible so that people can grow their businesses through Soil. So ideally, our long-term vision is to create our neighbors. So people start their businesses in Soil, and maybe they buy the property